Daniel received a video filmed inside his apartment while he was still inside it. But the terrifying part wasn't the shadow behind him. It was the fact that the person in the video was him. It started with a sound, not loud, not sudden, but something wrong. Daniel Carter had always been a night person, living alone in a small apartment on the edge of the city. He found comfort in silence until that silence broke. It was 2:17 a.m. His computer screen flickered. A low static noise filled the room. At first, he thought it was just interference. Maybe the Wi-Fi acting up again. But then, the screen turned black and a message appeared. Do not look behind you. Daniel froze. A cold wave ran through his spine. He laughed nervously. Okay, not funny. He turned his chair slightly. Nothing. Empty room. Just the dim yellow light from his desk lamp. He exhaled. Just a glitch. But then the message changed. You already looked. Daniel shut his laptop instantly. His heart was racing now. He checked his phone. No signal. No internet. No network. It didn't make sense. Everything had been working fine seconds ago. Then came the knock. Tap, tap, tap. Slow, measured. Coming from his bedroom door. But he lived alone. He grabbed a kitchen knife. Who's there? Silence. Another knock. Tap, tap, tap. He slowly walked toward the door, each step heavier than the last. His hand reached for the knob. He hesitated. Then he opened it. Nothing. The room was empty. Window closed. Curtains still. But something felt off. Too quiet. Too still. Like the room wasn't empty, just pretending to be. Daniel backed away. That's when he noticed it. On the wall, a shadow. Not his. Not moving with him. Just standing there, watching. He blinked, and it was gone. Okay, I'm done. He grabbed his jacket. I'm leaving. He didn't care where. Just not here. Not tonight. As he stepped outside into the hallway, relief hit him. Bright lights, normal silence. Everything felt real again. But then his neighbor, Mrs. Keller, opened her door. She looked at him, confused. Daniel, yes? She frowned. Who are you talking to? Daniel's blood turned cold. I'm talking to you. She shook her head slowly. There's no one there. He looked behind him. The hallway was empty, but he could still feel it, standing right behind him, breathing. Then his phone buzzed, signal restored. One notification, a video file, no sender, no name, just a timestamp. 2:17 a.m. With shaking hands, Daniel opened it. The video showed his apartment, recorded from inside, facing his desk, and there he was, sitting, typing, exactly where he had been. But behind him, something was standing, tall, still, and slowly leaning closer. The video ended. Daniel dropped his phone. No. This wasn't possible. He had just left the apartment. So who was still inside? His phone buzzed again. Another message. You left him behind. Daniel turned slowly. The hallway lights flickered, and for a split second, he saw it right behind him. Not a shadow, not a reflection, but something real, smiling. Daniel couldn't breathe. His chest felt tight, like something invisible was pressing against him. The hallway was empty, but it wasn't. He could feel it, watching, waiting. He ran, not thinking, not looking back, just ran down the stairs. out of the building, into the cold night air. The city felt wrong, too quiet. No cars, no people, just streetlights flickering like dying stars. Daniel pulled out his phone again. That video, it couldn't be real. It had to be fake, edited, manipulated. But deep inside, he knew it wasn't. Another notification. Same unknown sender. Another video. Timestamp. 2:18 a.m. Daniel hesitated. His fingers trembled. Then he pressed play. This time, the camera wasn't inside the apartment. It was in the hallway, outside his door. The video showed him standing exactly where he had been just seconds ago, looking confused, looking scared. Then something behind him moved, slowly. From the darkness, the same figure, tall, distorted, its head slightly tilted, like it was studying him. In the video, Daniel turned around, slowly, as if he could feel it too. But in real life, Daniel was already outside, watching this. That's not me. His voice cracked. That's not me. The video version of Daniel smiled. Not a normal smile. Something wrong. Too wide. Too empty. Then the screen glitched. Static. Distortion. And suddenly, the video. Daniel stepped closer to the camera. "You left me," it whispered. Daniel dropped the phone again. No, no, no. He backed away. But the street behind him looked different now. The buildings, slightly twisted. Windows darker than before. Reality wasn't stable anymore. Then, footsteps, slow, heavy, coming from behind him. Daniel froze. His body refused to move. He didn't want to turn around, because now he understood the message. Do not look behind you. It wasn't a warning. It was a rule, and he had already broken it. The footsteps stopped. Right behind him, a breath, cold, close to his ear. You're not supposed to be here. Daniel's eyes widened. What? You left your place. The voice continued. But something else didn't. Daniel slowly shook his head. Don't understand. A hand touched his shoulder. Ice cold. You will. Daniel turned and saw himself. Same face, same eyes, same clothes, but not the same presence. This version of him was empty, like a body without a soul, or worse, something else wearing his face. You shouldn't have opened the door, the duplicate said. Daniel stepped back. This isn't real. The duplicate tilted its head, exactly like the thing in the video. Then why are you still here? The streetlights flickered violently. Everything glitched. For a split second, Daniel saw something else beneath the duplicate's face. Not human. Something ancient. Hungry. You have two choices, it said. Go back or disappear. Daniel's heart pounded. What happens if I don't choose? The duplicate smiled, that same unnatural smile. Then I choose for you. Suddenly, everything went dark. Complete silence. Then, a single sound. Knock. Daniel opened his eyes. He was back in his apartment, sitting in front of his laptop. The screen flickered. Same message. Do not look behind you. His hands were on the keyboard, typing, but he wasn't controlling them. He tried to move. He couldn't. His body wasn't his anymore. And behind him, something slowly stepped closer. Black screen. Daniel couldn't move. His fingers were still typing, but not by his control. Each key pressed slowly, deliberately, like something else was inside him, controlling him. The screen in front of him flickered again. The message changed. He was not born. Daniel's breathing became heavy. No, no, stop. But his body didn't listen. More words appeared. He was created. His eyes widened. Created. What does that even mean? Suddenly, a loud static noise exploded through the speakers. The screen glitched violently. Then, a file opened automatically. Name, Project Mirror. Daniel's heart dropped. I never created this. The file began to play like a video log. A man appeared on screen, wearing a lab coat, face tired, eyes terrified. Log entry 27, the man said. If anyone is seeing this, we failed. Daniel leaned closer. We tried to create a reflection, a perfect duplicate of human consciousness. The video glitched, but it's not a reflection anymore. It's learning. It watches, and once you notice it, the man paused, tears in his eyes. It replaces you. Daniel's chest tightened. No, this is fake. The video continued. Subject DC. Daniel froze. Daniel Carter. His name. You were the first successful host. Everything went silent. His mind went blank. No, I'm not. The screen zoomed into a photo. It was him, but different. Standing in a lab, surrounded by machines. Date unknown. You don't remember because you were never supposed to. Daniel screamed, "Stop it!" But the video didn't stop. The original Daniel is gone. Daniel's world shattered. You are the copy. Everything froze. His breathing stopped. No, I'm real. But deep down, something felt wrong. Memories. They felt incomplete, like missing pieces, like they were inserted, not lived. Suddenly, the lights in the room went out. Darkness. Complete silence. Then, a whisper from behind him. You're starting to understand. The collapse. Daniel stepped back from the mirror. His heart pounded violently. This isn't real. But the reflection didn't move with him. It stood completely still, smiling. Why are you scared? It asked. Daniel shook his head. You're not me. The reflection slowly raised its hand, but Daniel didn't move. The lights suddenly exploded above him. Glass shattered across the room. The walls stretched unnaturally, and the ceiling twisted like melting plastic. The floor beneath him felt alive, breathing slowly. Reality was collapsing. Daniel fell to his knees. What's happening to me? Memories flooded his mind, but they weren't his memories. He saw different places, different lives, different versions of himself running through dark hallways, screaming in fear, dying over and over again. Every version of you was never real. The voice echoed through the room. Stop it! Daniel screamed. But the visions continued. He saw hundreds of faces identical to his own. Some were older. Some looked broken. Some looked completely insane. You are just one of many. The mirror cracked down the center. But instead of breaking apart, it expanded outward like a doorway opening into darkness. Endless blackness stretched inside it. Then the reflection stepped out. Not a reflection anymore. Real, standing directly in front of him. Same face, same body, but its eyes were empty and unnatural. "You took something that wasn't yours," it whispered. Daniel crawled backward across the floor. "I didn't take anything." The entity smiled. "Yes, you did. Every breath you took erased him a little more." Daniel's body started trembling violently. "No, I am him." The creature laughed with a distorted, broken sound that echoed through the collapsing room. "Then prove it." Suddenly, Daniel felt something snap inside his mind. His memories started disappearing one by one. His childhood vanished. His parents' faces disappeared. His own name felt unfamiliar. "Daniel," he whispered weakly. Even that name was fading away. "Who am I?" The entity leaned close to his face. "You're nothing, just another replacement." Daniel tried to stand, but his body glitched strangely. Pieces of him flickered in and out of existence like corrupted footage. The room collapsed completely. Now there was only darkness. Hundreds of whispers surrounded him from every direction. Which one is real? Which one is real? Which one is real? Daniel covered his ears. "Stop!" The voices became louder until suddenly everything went silent. A single light appeared in the darkness, and under that light stood hundreds of Daniels, all identical, all watching him, all smiling. "You see it now," they said together. "There is no original." Daniel's mind shattered completely. No, that's not true. But deep inside, he knew it was. One of the copies stepped forward slowly. "You don't exist." Daniel stared at the screen in silence. "Final stage ready." The words glowed across the laptop like a death sentence. Behind him, something slowly breathed in the darkness of the apartment. He didn't turn around, because now he understood everything. The thing behind him wasn't chasing him anymore. It had already won. Daniel slowly stood from the chair. His body felt heavier than before, unstable, almost unreal. The room around him flickered constantly like corrupted footage. The lights buzzed. Walls glitched. Reality itself was breaking apart. Then the laptop spoke, not through text this time. A voice, cold, distorted, synchronization complete. Daniel's blood froze. "What do you want from me?" he whispered. The voice answered instantly, "To become whole." Suddenly, every mirror inside the apartment cracked at once. The bathroom mirror, the bedroom mirror, even the black TV screen reflected movement behind him. Dozens of versions of himself appeared in every reflection, watching, smiling, waiting. "You were never meant to exist alone," the voice continued. "You are only a fragment." Daniel backed away slowly. "No, I'm real." The reflections all smiled wider. "Then why are your memories disappearing?" Daniel stopped breathing because they were. He couldn't remember his mother's face anymore, couldn't remember his childhood home, couldn't even remember the sound of his own laugh. His entire life felt artificial now, inserted, fake. Suddenly, the apartment door opened by itself. A dark hallway waited outside. But this hallway wasn't part of the building. It stretched endlessly into darkness. Daniel heard footsteps echoing from inside it, slow, heavy, coming closer. Then he finally saw him, the original, the real Daniel Carter. His face looked tired and hollow, like he had been trapped for years. His eyes carried hatred beyond words. "You took everything from me," the original whispered. Daniel shook his head desperately. I didn't know. You still lived my life. The hallway lights flickered violently. The copies inside the mirrors started laughing softly. The original stepped closer. Do you know what happens to copies when the host returns? Daniel's voice trembled. Please. The original raised his hand slowly, and suddenly Daniel's body froze completely. He couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't scream. His skin started glitching apart like digital static. You fade, the original said calmly. Daniel felt pieces of himself disappearing. His arms flickered transparent. His heartbeat slowed unnaturally. No, please don't do this. The original stared at him without emotion. You were never supposed to exist. The mirrors around the room shattered violently. Every copy vanished. Every whisper stopped. Only silence remained. Daniel collapsed to the floor as reality erased him piece by piece. His memories dissolved into darkness until only one thought remained inside his mind. What if he was never real from the beginning? Then, blackness, complete silence. A few seconds later, a man suddenly opened his eyes inside the apartment, breathing heavily, confused. He looked around slowly. Normal room, normal lights. Everything looked fine again. He touched his face nervously, then walked toward the laptop. The screen turned on automatically. One message appeared. Welcome back, Daniel. The man frowned. What? Then he noticed something strange on the desk beside the laptop. A photograph. It showed him standing beside another version of himself, but the second face had been scratched out completely. Under the photo, someone had written one sentence in red ink. The copy never knows. The lights suddenly flickered. A shadow moved behind him, and the screen went black.